Thank you so much for having me today and allowing me to speak to you. When I was preparing, Holly, could you mute? Maybe that would help. So when I was thinking about today, Spirit let me know that they wanted me to talk about how expansive we are. And Caitlin, if I could get you to mute, I might not hear myself. But anyway, if you think about the axiom as above, so below, and you compare it to our spiritual selves as opposed to our bodies. So Robert Monroe from the Monroe Institute used to say that only 20% of our spirit is contained in our bodies. The rest of it is everywhere else. And of that 20%, there's only a small percentage of what's actually happening that we become aware of. And if you think about it, it's kind of like your car, right? Your car in your neighborhood, in your city, in your country, in your part of the world. It's as though the vehicle, which is your car, can take you places, but it's a very, very limited perspective. So you could be at the corner grocery store and not know what's happening in Poland. And that's kind of how it is with our consciousness. The cool thing about our consciousness is that we can explore and still stay in a safe zone, but we can explore the many layers that we are. And I like to do that with meditations, and that's part of, I think, what we're going to do today. My meditations I usually have a pretty good intent, and my intent today is for us to ground ourselves, go into the earth, and then to explore our ethereal bodies. But usually it's spirit that takes over and channels the meditation. So I can't really tell you where we're going to go, but I can tell you I always love doing it. So I really appreciate the opportunity. So so if we could just take a deep breath, and I feel more comfortable with my camera off when I'm doing a meditation. It's up to you guys. I close my eyes, I won't be staring, but it just helps me to center myself. And Nikki, I'm going to try some music. I'm going to start it now, and let's make sure you can all hear it. And let's see. I'm going to share my, somehow share screen. Hey, can you enable me to share? Okay, great.
Hey, Dolly, we're doing a guided meditation, so be quiet and come up here.
So can you hear that?
I think we need to mute Charlie just so it doesn't interrupt the meditation. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. So as long as you can hear that, it will, usually interruptions don't matter, but we've got barking dogs here. There we go. All right. So everybody take a deep breath, turn your camera off if you like, leave it on if you like, it's up to you. And as you take this next breath, slowly allow your eyes to close, allow yourself to relax in your chair, and allow yourself to with this next in breath. Breathe in and exhale all of your potential, everything. Allow it to go out. And so inhale again. And as you do, imagine a portal opening up over your head. And it's a beautiful portal of golden, sparkly energy that comes from the universe, enters in through your head chakra, your crown chakra, and it begins to just envelop and surround your body, whirling with the right hand twist as it slowly runs down your forehead, around your ears, around your cranium, in your brain, around your legs, healing, relaxing, making everything beat with the beat of the earth. Everything move in concert with the beat of the earth. Bump, bump, bump. And now imagine this energy as it comes down around your neck, relaxing all of the muscles, tendons, cells, fibers in your neck. And allow those to just limp and loose. You may become aware of your throat chakra as it's spinning now perfectly in beat. Beat of the earth at the perfect speed for you, with clarity and crispness, so that you will be able to communicate what is your highest and best good. Now take another deep breath and feel that amazing energy as it moves down into your chest, into your heart, whirling, cleansing, clearing every cell and fiber of your being. Now on this next breath, breathe in with your heart and allow your heart chakra to open up to this beautiful energy from without that is surrounding you, spinning, swirling, relaxing, and healing. And now this energy flows around your body into your abdomen, healing all the organs and muscles there, into your pelvis, healing all the organs, the muscles there, creating perfect timing, everything beating in tune, beating together, one community, which is your body and all your cells working together. And now this energy swirls around your hips and it enters the top of your thighs, and you feel your leg muscles going limp and relaxed. And as they relax, you find yourself feeling safe. You are safe now, cradled by this energy of the universe. And you just feel yourself in this warm cocoon of beautiful, golden, sparkly energy. And this energy travels into your knees and clears all the fear that we store there, into your calves and out the bottom of your feet. And as you sit there with this energy swirling and flowing around you, allow yourself to open up your feet chakra to the earth. And allow the energy that flows through you to create a connection with Mother Earth, either through a tunnel, a cave, a waterfall, a root, whatever it is, however you connect with Mother Earth. Feel your connection widening, strengthening, becoming clearer and clearer as this energy enters the top of your head, transfers through your vehicle, your body, down into Mother Earth. All the negativity that was in your body has now been given to Mother Earth, and she can transmute that energy into beautiful green, greenery, flowers, trees, to feed the animals in the earth. And this is how our energy creates Mother Earth. And so let's sit here for a second and let's feel what it feels like to be connected to both heaven and earth. Now, allow yourself, your consciousness, to form a beautiful pink ball inside your heart, inside your abdomen. Allow your consciousness to coalesce into a beautiful pink ball with shimmering light. And allow that pink ball to float through your body, down through your legs. Allow your consciousness now to enter the connection that you have with Mother Earth, and to travel down that connection to the center of the earth. Feel yourself floating, going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, feeling safe and secure, feeling absolutely light without a care, and find yourself floating down, down, down. And now you become aware of the center of the earth, and your awareness is heightened. You can see it, you can feel it, you can hear it, you can even taste it. And this ball of energy that is you is experiencing the center of the earth. It could be a beautiful nature scene, it could be a beautiful sculpture, it could be the mother's heart. Whatever it is that comes to you, this is the place of generation and regeneration on this planet. This is the place where all the minerals and the rocks and the crystals are recycled and reborn again. And as we stay in this beautiful center of the earth, we feel our consciousness, and by correlation, our bodies becoming regenerated with this beautiful regeneration energy of the center of the earth. Feel it, filling your consciousness, expanding your consciousness, making you one with Mother Earth. Stay here for a moment and allow her to nurture you, care for you, heal you, and regenerate you. Now take a deep breath in and feel the hands of Mother Earth slowly lifting you up through your connection with her, taking you back into your body, your consciousness. And allow this regenerated consciousness to fill every pore, every cell, every fiber, every atom, every molecule of your being. Feel the energy as it rises up and now comes out the top of your crown chakra and creates your wings, your angel wings, as it comes down the side of your body. And so now you've been gifted with energy from the universe, energy from the earth. And now it's time to take our consciousness and lift it up with our hearts, through the top of our heads, out of the room that you're in, out of the dwelling that you're in, past the trees, past the clouds, up to where you can see the beautiful sun shining brightly. And as the sun shines on you, you glow with her beautiful energy, and her energy joins yours, and you continue to float gently upwards, past the clouds, and you look down on the earth, the beautiful blue sphere, and you see those beautiful white clouds from a distance, and you keep traveling up, and you can see the planets in the solar system. And you keep traveling up, and you could see the Milky Way galaxy. And you keep traveling up, still in your etheric body, as it expands upward and upward. And your consciousness travels upward and upward. And there are stars surrounding you in the beautiful blackness, that you are safe. And from this vantage point, you become aware of information that you've been seeking. Something that you've been seeking comes into your consciousness now from this wisdom of the universe. Take a moment and allow it to fill your mind, your awareness. Take a moment to take this consciousness, this energy in you, and listen. And you will remember this piece of wisdom. But now we're going to have some fun. We're going to increase the spin, and we're going to allow our bodies to spin, to fly, to be free up in this weightless place, this place of safety, this place of expanded consciousness. And from here, we can see anything we want to see, go anywhere we want to go. But for right now, we're just visiting for a second, to feel what it feels like to be who we really are. This huge, expansive, multi-dimensional, incredible being. And as you spin and fly and do loop-de-loops and pretend you're Peter Pan or however it is you express yourself, take a few moments and just enjoy the freedom of knowing the extent of your consciousness, that it's unlimited and unending. And the earth seems so small, and the earthly problems so tiny and minuscule. And the beauty of where we are right now fills our hearts, and we can feel our hearts opening and expanding. So now take a deep breath and allow yourself just to tumble and float down, back into the solar system, our solar system, back past the earth and the planets, looking around and seeing all the stars. And let's pause for a moment as we look at the earth. Let's imagine beautiful blue beauty in her clouds. And for a moment, let's take that beautiful expanded energy that's in our heart and let's send it to the earth. She healed us, and now it's our turn to heal her. And we feel this energy just radiating from us, radiating to the earth, surrounding the earth, swirling, beautiful golden energy. And just imagine for 1 second that everyone on the earth can feel this energy. Just imagine this energy entering into every person on the earth's aura, lighting them up, bringing peace to them. And now let's leave our energy with them, slowly detach, and continue our journey back to the earth, back down past the clouds, saying goodbye to the stars, saying hello to the sun, entering the earth's atmosphere, feeling it around us, feeling the mother as she gently guides us back. this beautiful energy which is us. That's the treetops, down toward the building that you're in, through the roof, into your room, into your chair. And before we come back to full consciousness, let's open our hearts one more time in gratitude for the energy that we've received, for the opportunity to help the earth, for our connection to the earth, and for our very lives. And we allow ourselves to fill with this gratitude. And everyone that we meet today and this week and this month will feel the energy that was given to us just by virtue of our presence. And everyone that we meet and everyone that we receive will feel the brilliance of the earth and the sky and the clouds and our awakened awareness. So now take a deep breath as you feel the seat underneath your body. You feel the connection with the earth becoming shorter, but still staying connected. You feel the energy of the cosmos still swirling around you, but the connection's been closed, just for now. Take another deep breath, and as I count from 1 to 5, when I reach 5, you'll find yourself awake, alert. You'll remember everything that happened, and you'll feel amazingly healed, incredibly wise, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. So 1, feeling the chair on your body. 2, stretching your arms and legs, feeling yourself coming into your body, your consciousness inhabiting every pore, every cell, every molecule. 3, rotating your head on your neck, just stretching it. Good stretch. 4, feeling yourself back in the room. And 5, eyes open, wide awake, and feeling amazing. So, how did that go? Let me turn off the music. There we go.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
He's muted.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hey, Bobby. Oh, you look so beautiful. It's muted again.
So how have you been, Terrie?
I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. Also, it's good to see you. Your family's
Good to-
well?
Everybody's doing well. Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Where are you living now?
Still in Woodbridge.
Where?
Yeah.
Woodbridge.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, near DC. Does anybody have any feedback for that? I mean, did you go there? Did you feel it?
I definitely went away. Floating through the universe and all. My hands were lit up, so I was pushing some of that energy back to the planet Earth, healing the planet.
Nice. Yeah, I love flying up there. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I was doing flips and soaring.
Yeah, doing these, as you fly up.
Have fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like doing that, and I love to go down to the center of the earth because we forgot about that whole world there, and we forget that that's where we originated. That's where these vehicles originated, and so if we can go back to the factory, as it were, as above, so below, as below, so above. If we can go back to the factory and kind of get refurbished,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that makes it better. Oh, am I froze? Oh,
Nope.
so are you. We're froze.
Sometimes when I feel disconnected, I take my shoes off and I go outside just to feel the grass and the earth underneath me. It's very
Mhm.
grounding.
It's very grounding. And I know you have a grounding sheet too, a grounding piece that you use. So that's nice.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kevin? Are you used to this craziness?
You're muted.
I love it when people don't realize they're muted because they haven't quite come back yet. So I
Yeah.
wanted to.
I haven't had a lot of experience with meditation, but any I've had, but I kind of find myself constantly going off, and it's like my mind zips around the universe, and I end up with all these spiritual answers by the time I get back. So I'm never sure whether it's just me or the meditation. So I'm trying to get accustomed to that and putting some direction to it.
Mm-hmm. So the question of is it me or is it the universe is always, if you're a medium, it's hard. If you're anything that you do, it's always hard to know if it's intuition or if it's coming from you. But my thought is this: if it doesn't hurt anyone, nothing is forever. So why not take all of your thoughts that are positive and uplifting and say they came from the universe?
Hmm.
Why not? Because after a while, when you begin to trust your thoughts, you begin to develop the difference. You can feel the difference. And again, the sure check, I think, is will this benefit me and at least one other person? And then I realize it's not just about me, it's about another. So just maybe try that test for a little bit and see if that helps.
Yeah. Oh, I'm comfortable with it being either one because I figured they're all one anyway. So, so what if it's the quirk side of me, I'm gonna enjoy that too. So I love the experience I've had so far with it.
Okay, I just want to check and make sure everybody's back. I don't want to leave anybody in the stratosphere. So we've managed to do, we've got us till 12:32. Does anybody have any questions or want to talk about anything? Everybody except Charlie.
I'll make a comment. How could I resist?
Okay.
I love your voice is nice and clear, and I like the music you chose. And I like the synchronicity because the past couple of months I've been meditating from the center of the earth to the solar logos back and forth. And that's been my main endeavor. And it's come out of a meditation class I'm in with a guy that was formerly a medical doctor that's given his life to teaching meditation and has written a book on the subject. I like being up with the stars, and I found myself being a shooting star with I could go any direction and as fast as I wanted to. I loved it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. You are a star, Charlie.
Oh, I wish you'd tell that. I'm glad you just spoke that up so Bobby can hear that.
She knows. She just doesn't want to admit it.
Okay.
I have a friend who's been swimming in the Sea of Cortez off of Baja. And she said that she's done her spiritual connection with dolphins and turtles and all that. And she said that she was so in the energetic of it that she felt like she was zipping along and swimming along with the dolphins at their speed. And when she came back to her body, she looked around and she says, "Oh my gosh, I'm so far from the boat. How did I get here?"
Yeah, that's a risk, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I always feel like the universe takes care of you if you're,
Yeah.
you know, if you're energetically traveling, I think the universe kind of takes care of your body.
Yeah.
Have you ever lost time in a meditation where you can't account for maybe period of time? Does anyone?
Oh yeah, Charlie, do you do that?
Only once. I was Jin. I think it's the art of the form of Jindin Su or something like that. I'm very close. I went to a practitioner, and it was kind of a meditation opportunity. And we both lost about 10 or 15 minutes where we're in total blank. Couldn't account for anything. It was an interesting feeling. Never had it happen before or since.
Has anybody else had that happen?
I've kind of had that happen. All of a sudden, I'll realize that, okay, it's like I gotta come back. It's, my mind just goes off and does whatever it does, and then I go, oh, where was I? And there's that one moment where, I know I wasn't aware of time, sort of thing.
So again, as above, so below it. I remember, and Kate can back me up on the story. We had a lab, 90-pound lab. It was a beautiful, beautiful dog. And he was very much the protector of the family. And right before he passed, we were visiting Kate on Jekyll Island. And on Jekyll Island, there's a place called Driftwood Beach. And on Driftwood Beach, there's these beautiful trees that have been preserved by the saltwater that comes in. And so it's really kind of a surreal landscape. And it's a narrow strip of beach. And one morning, Harlan and me and Kate and the dog were on the beach, and we let the dog loose, which is something we never did. And to watch him, he jumped and he frolicked, and I never saw him so alive. And he was probably at that point 9, 10 years old. So he was at the end of his life. And he kept looking at us like, aren't you going to call me back? Aren't you going to call me back? And he would just run over into a corner, and then he would just like a pony just jump up on all fours. He was so excited. And I think sometimes that's what our consciousness wants to do. We keep it so tightly controlled. We keep it so focused on this work problem or this money problem or this relationship problem that we never allow our consciousness off the leash. And seeing the joy in that animal, anybody who, I don't have a good Facebook presence, but the picture is me and him on the beach that day. And I like it because you can't see my face, but you see me and the dog on the beach that day. And I'll never forget that time on the beach. And it started me thinking about how we so tightly, we're so afraid of being controlled that we control ourselves. And we so tightly, no one controls us more than we do. and just to let ourselves off the leash, just to let ourselves go up in the universe, to extend to the end of our etheric bodies, which go on forever, to go down to the center of the earth. To me, that's like frolicking on Driftwood Beach for a dog. It's allowing your consciousness that experience of pure play. And good on you for doing that. Good on you, Kevin, for losing time and allowing yourself to do that. And good on all of you for taking the time to explore that part of us that we control, but we allow society to control, that part of us that says, follow these rules. All of that in my mind is, again, as long as we don't hurt anybody, but it is to constrict ourselves. It is to try to make ourselves conform. And as humans, a big part of us is acceptance. We want people to accept us. So we maintain ourselves in this little box. Sometimes we get outside of the box with drugs and alcohol or gambling or sex or whatever our addiction happens to be. But isn't it amazing if we can allow ourselves to get out of that box just with our consciousness, allow our consciousness to play like Sam on the beach, which was the dog's name. And so that's why I love to do these meditations, because to me, it's a freeing, and nobody can tell me how to do, how to be. And I have to give myself permission to do that. And it's been a series of, trying to feel safe, even though I'm not completely in my body, trying to tap into the wisdom of the universe, which I know surrounds us. We can have any answer that we want if we open ourselves to it. Now, there's vehicles for, finding the Akashic records and reading them, because that's how our boxes think. I got to find a book, I got to read it. But it's not true. It's all there, and we just have to open to it. And the trick is to learn how to open to it in a world that keeps us closed. And if we give ourselves permission to open, and we give others permission to open up to that, then we could have an amazing world. So that's kind of the point of today. And thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to do that. When I do these, I feel my chakras changing. Did anyone feel that? Did they feel their heart get heavy?
Mm.
They feel their head expand. And when you think about those spaceships, they're coming with the admitting that we have spaceships now and we've been visited by UFOs. But one of the things that struck me the other day that I saw was witnesses to a UFO craft who looked in the craft said the craft was only so big. When they looked in it, it was expansive. So they were able to manipulate the space in between the molecules. And that's what we could do. We could do that. We have these little teeny bodies, and yet I think that's the message, is we have these little teeny bodies, and we need to be partially in our bodies. I mean, that's why we incarnated on this earth, was to experience a human body and a physicality and all the stuff that goes with that. But yet we are so much more than our bodies. And so to me, the space in between the cells, we haven't gone there yet.
Okay, Terrie, I think you should explain to them or tell them the story that when we were on the beach, I think you and I and your spouse. Remember
you said
that?
you'd never say anything about that. You said you'd never tell.
I'm not going to tell it. You're going to tell it. It
I
was
don't remember it.
You
What
don't
happened?
remember?
No, I
Oh
don't know
my
what you're talking about.
God.
Don't
We
forget, I
were
stay out of my body.
early morning before our conference. You and I and your spouse, I think, were walking on the beach. We came upon a man that had like a heart attack.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. And so he had a heart attack, and Caitlin was there too.
Yeah.
And so what we ended up doing was um, just being present, putting my hand on his heart, um, and I felt it stop. I felt him die. And uh, after several minutes, we were on the phone with the emergency people, and they were like, "Don't do CPR." And something told me not to do CPR. I was afraid, having been given the instruction that if I did hurt him, it would be my fault. So anyway, I held his hand. I had my hand on his heart. I felt it stop, and I felt him go cold. And I thought, "Oh, this is horrible. He's dead." So a paramedic who was staying at the same place came running down and took his shirt off and did a couple chest compressions and shook his head and walked away. And then the paramedics came down, the real paramedics, and we were on the beach, so far on the beach that they couldn't bring their ambulance. So they had a stretcher, put him on a stretcher, and they were doing CPR on him. And they did CPR on him. You know, they whisked him off. They had to carry him up the dune and into the ambulance. And I knew he was dead. And I thought it was my fault because I didn't do CPR on him. And a couple of people told me I should have done CPR. And I don't know, it stuck with me for several months until Caitlin called me and said, "That man's wife wants to talk to you." Remember, Kate? And you could
Yeah,
pick
the
that up.
police took our number. Yeah.
So you pick it up from there.
Oh, he's still alive. He made it. He had a widowmaker heart attack. And she called to thank us because there was a lot of people that helped, but I was like the communicator between the police and my mom and the people. And so they ended up with my contact info. And she just wanted to thank us. And then mom ended up talking to her about the ministry. And I think I think she got a little freaked out. But she did friend us on Facebook, and like they just had their grandkid like 2 days ago, great grandkid, and he's still alive. And so I don't know, it was just like one of those weird things where you're supposed to be there. And I had passed him right before he fell with Maggie walking, and he looked bad. I don't know how to explain it. I saw the gray aura of death, like that you kind of give off before you pass. And God, he looked weird. And I remember I just was like I got that weird feeling. And then when I turned around, he was on the ground and everybody was circling him, maybe like 50 yards down. So I don't know. It was just the right place, the wrong time. I think they gave the order not to give CPR because I think they thought he was. I think they typically give that order if they think there's nothing that can be done for that person. So I don't really know how he survived, but he did, and they did give that guy did give him CPR. He disregarded the 911 people. That
Yeah. And
paramedic
then
stayed for a while. Yeah.
for a little bit, and then he left. He just gave up. But I think the thing about it was the woman told us that without the CPR we had done, he wouldn't have survived. That's what the doctor
Yeah.
told him.
Yeah. So I
And
think they were just gave up on him. Yeah.
we didn't do CPR. So that was, a total intervention. But yeah, and then a couple weeks after we got that phone call, I had the same heart attack. So so
A
it must
few
have been
months.
contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been a contagious thing. I don't know.
It
But
was about 6 months. So yeah.
so is that the
Yeah.
story, Charlie, you wanted?
Well, Terry, when you had, okay, back up to the man on the beach that you didn't perform CPR, it's kind of obvious that his etheric body left and came back. And so, you weren't in charge. You were just there to be a beneficial presence. Now, when you had your heart attack a few weeks later, did you pass out? Did you leave your body?
No, no, I never did. No, I
Okay.
never did. I was too busy yelling at everybody, trying to convince them I was having a heart attack.
That worked. Well, anyway, you survived.
Yeah, it did. It did. And a couple of people were eating crow, but I'm like, yeah, I was at the hospital. You're like, God, go home. No.
But it reminds me of the time that Bobby and I were jogging in our local park, and we got there, and this guy had a cardiac arrest and was lying down the ground, and Bobby went to find a phone or something to call 911. And I don't know CPR, so what I did is I just held his feet and communicated with him on a spiritual level and helped him make a peaceful transition. That worked.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Going
he
in-
was in between. I think he decided to stay because
Yeah.
they gave him defibrillized him on the beach when the paramedics got on the beach. That's what they did, bring his heart back. So he's very, very lucky. And I think your presence there and the people that were there, I think they just helped hold the space for him to decide what he was going to do, because really honestly that he should have had brain damage. Like there should have been a lot, just that amount of time, just
Yeah,
from a
his heart was-
biological standpoint. Like he's a very, very lucky. And I think he decided, maybe you tethered him, maybe you helped keep him there, I don't know. But it was definitely a remarkable thing. And like she was really freaked out when we started telling her about like spirit guides and the ministry and Mary, because they're like hardcore, Texas Christian people. And which is fine, but that's just not that's not always in their, in how they view God and the higher power. And so I think she was a little weirded out, but she still friended us, and like I see their pictures and I'm like, oh, okay, like that was really cool, you know? So
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Katie, for that. It was
Yeah.
The other point I'd like to make is that we're talking about leaving the body and coming back, but we find the same freedom within our vehicle when we express compassion. And so that compassion identifies us or unifies us with whoever we're being compassionate with. And it's that freedom that we get from our spirit when we're aligned with our compassion or our sense of peace or joy.
very well said, Charlie. And Paul and I are learning about presence in working with and healing animals. We're working on a course while we're here called Trust Technique, and it's so amazing. I've got, as Paula said, as she rolled her eyes, I've got 5 cats and 3 dogs now, and we have been able to calm them down by just practicing our presence. And I can tell you in 3 seconds how to do that is to focus on your breath. Don't think of anything. Look at a spot beyond the animal and just hold that space. Because what happens is, and I think this happens with people too, but I can't prove it, is that the animal is so energetically in touch with you that if you become upset, they become upset, then you become upset because they're upset, and they become upset because you're upset. And so they're constantly focused on what we're doing. And if you hold that space of just, you could be peaceful right now, this moment, you could be peaceful, the animals react and go to sleep. Okay, Paul, you want to talk about that? Unmute.
Yeah, when I first watched it, it was like, nah, this can't be happening. But then I remembered that's sort of what I had to do when I was dealing with dementia. If I got upset, it made things worse. So I had to not get upset. So I started practicing this on Terrie's dog, who's barks every time I come downstairs, walk in the house, anything. Petey would bark at me. And some of it was I want to play bark, but it was bark. And so I started practicing, and for 3 days, I have come down the stairs, I have come in the house, and he just stands there and waits for me to pet him, no barking, because I'm practicing this technique. And it was just fascinating and so easy. That's what's blowing me away. It's easy. And so I decided, yeah, I think I would like to learn how to do this. I'm not too old to learn. But just to have this dog who hasn't seen me in 5 or 6 years since his mom had her heart attack, to have him just stay nice and calm when I come downstairs and just greet me quietly when he used to have to bark. I can see that he's not anxious anymore. And I think there's a potential for using this on human beings. I'm going to try it on my husband when I get home. But if it works that well on animals, but then again, thinking back to how I dealt with dementia, it was a similar technique of staying calm, staying in my space so that they didn't feel threatened, they didn't feel anxious. Because whenever I overreacted, we had a catastrophic reaction. So I think this guy has gotten a miraculous, what he did with this dog who bit everybody and was about to be euthanized was purely miraculous. To see this dog be able to be petted and loved, which is what the dog wanted and needed, was short of a miracle. And he did this in four 2-hour sessions, which in itself is amazing. And it stuck. It wasn't just an aberration, it stuck. So this dog could be adopted and be loved and never bit anybody again, I guess. So yeah, I am very grateful for Terrie showing me that, because it's like, oh, well, maybe I've got another career after all. Who knows? We shall see. We will keep you posted, right?
Yeah, we humans sure bark at each other, so maybe you can apply it.
Right.
Yeah. The first book I wrote was called Licking Your Wounds, and that came from a dog, right? I mean, that's wonderful.
You say it came from a dog, Charlie.
Well, whatever.
But the beauty of holding the presence, because that's what we're here for, right? And if it serves another person and it serves yourself, then that's what we're here to do. To me, that's the test. And so certainly these animals are here to teach us maybe how to hold our consciousness. Maybe that's why they're here. Maybe that's why they put up with all our ridiculousness. It's just to teach us to be present.
I want to just suggest that this reminds me of, I had a friend who was an emergency doctor, and she was telling the story of a patient coming in. She had been trained in Reiki. So she had everybody had their hands on this person who was trying to deal with whatever was going on. And she had her hand somewhere, and he just kind of came to and said, who has their hand wherever her hand was? And she said, that's me. So intention, just, being present in the moment with intention and directing that intention is so powerful. So I feel really grateful for the meditation. It also reminds me of psychedelics. Psychedelics are all about creating neuroplasticity, and all the neuroscientists say that psychedelics do the same thing that prayer and meditation does. It starts to get our brain to expand and to be more able to see how we're all connected. So beautiful. Thank you. I have a 12 o'clock meeting I have to go to, so I'm going to leave, but I'm grateful to be here today. Thank you, everybody, for your presence.
Good to have you here, Sally.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, Sally. Thank you.
And thank you, Terrie, for a great meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
What's the
thank
name of the
you
book?
for inviting me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
If
What's
you're
the
ever
name of
out
the
on the
book?
West Coast, come visit, please.
Well, Paula will tell you I never really leave my I really pretty much stay in my environs unless
That's
Okay.
why I'm visiting her.
yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for the invite, Char, and I will
You're
keep that in
welcome.
mind.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, everybody. I sure appreciate all of your attending. And Laura, can we count on you next week to do a singing bowl session? Are you going to be here?
I think so. I'm back on Saturday, but yep, I am free.
Okay.
So what did you put in the chat, Nikki?
That's a book called The Presence Process by Michael Brown. It's something that I'm starting to study and people are raving about it. So I wondered if maybe that was similar to what you're doing, because there's a lot of breath work involved in that and just being
Cool.
so
I'd like,
present.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good. I'm gonna copy this. There we go. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful week and a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yes.
All right. Enjoy
And
the
thank
rest of
you
your
again.
trip, Paula and Kate.
Bye. Thank
Everybody.
you.
All right.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Have a blessed week.